In a capital such as Brussels, this place is very interesting to me because it is a testimony of its history. The Triumphal Arch and its different museums are very old, and yet the park itself is located in the most modern neighborhood of the city, which makes a great combination. Old or modern, the city is mapped with important visual points, and we can find many of them in Jubel Park, which is where the Triumphal Arch is located. We can find many paths in that park that visually connects the visitors with the different buildings. Statues often mark those different visual points. As our walk takes us out of the park, we go by the Kochi House, a pride figure of Art Nouveau, which has been a major trend in Brussels and inspired many designers and artists. I like this house because it was built upon a belief that there should always be design when there is architecture. The European Quarter is by far the spot in Brussels where everything is kept clean and trendy, and that is most possibly because Brussels wants to not only be, but look like the capital of Europe. Hence, it is a promising place for architects and designers from everywhere. The new headquarters of the European Council is a great example with its new and original design. It has a very Art Deco facade and its interior is designed to be extremely trendy. Being a very busy neighborhood, it is where we find places such as Multibureau that offer innovating office spaces with high-performance technology, but also lunch areas, multiple services, meeting rooms, and even virtual offices. We can find the same thing with L42 and many others. We can tell that given all the activity going on in Brussels, the city is always trying to improve its working experience and its working spaces, and tries as well to come up with new ideas to make everything improve. As we head out of the European Quarter, we come by the Palace of Brussels. It is located right in front of the Palace of the Nation, and it is said that the two buildings symbolize together Belgium's system of government. I like the fact that the palace is located right in between the very trendy European Quarter and a more artistic central spot in Brussels. In the palace, we face an elegant view of Brussels and more specifically what we call le Mont des Arts, which can be translated to Hill of Arts. From the elevated vantage point, the famous tower of the Brussels Town Hall in the Grand Place is clearly visible and is another viewpoint of the city. As we head down, we step in the heart of Le Mont des Arts, a place of many museums and artistic events. Many of its buildings have been reworked on by interior architects, and the park itself has been worked on by a landscape architect. It is where we can find the Royal Library of Brussels, a place of knowledge, silence and art. This very old building has recently known some recent interior design to give it a more modern twist. Although we can find some of Belgium's most precious books and heritage here, anyone is welcome to enter its walls as long as they have a visitor card. I love this place the most on clear days when the sun slowly starts to set. The sandy buildings catch the colors of the setting sun and turn pink and gold. The atmosphere created by those lights and the design found here boost my creative imagination every time. We continue right next door to the Creative District of Brussels, a place that supports entrepreneurs by offering workspaces and events. It offers mixed services to creative people, artists, idea takers, project promoters, but also for a wider audience. All around Brussels and throughout the walk, a lot of street art can be seen. Be it commissioned or spontaneous, monumental or more discreet, the artworks cover building walls, benches, or even lampposts, using the city itself as an exhibition space, a real open-air museum. We pass then next to Enigma, the place where I work, and that, nowadays, is all about interior architecture and decorating, as we prepare to open our new rooms with a brand new design. And I must say, a very fantastic design. As we go to the next location, we walk through the Queen's Galleries, which are a real sight as spatial designers work all year round to decorate them appropriately to fit the time of the year. For example here, the Christmas time. It says a lot about how important designers are for the city. Once out, we are close to the Montpunt, a public library and cultural place where people can come alone or even in groups to work or to study. There are several floors that offer different kinds of spaces and atmospheres to anyone ready to respect the deep concentration felt in the space. Then we arrive at Brussels' most famous street, which has undergone much transformation in design throughout the last years. Once it was full of cars, but now it is only for pedestrians, and it houses many events and more artistic changes. The ESA St. Luc School is one of the main public schools for art and design in Brussels, and I find it very troubling and a bit disappointing that the school is skeptic of welcoming foreign students and seem to accept only very specific diplomas. I believe that design can only thrive with open minds and cultural diversity. And our walk lastly takes us to another kind of place that is thriving in Brussels. A simple coffee house which offers more than relaxing with a cup of tea, but actual practical workspaces for all kind of entrepreneurs and designers, which then have a place to work at. And this is where our walk ends.